I'm Paul Higgins, an ex-corporate executive turned business owner who for 5 years struggled to grow a cloud consulting business whilst battling a chronic disease. With the help of mentors and experts, I got the business model right, built a sales and marketing engine, and developed a high-performing team that ended in a successful exit. I received a kidney transplant from a mate, and now on my second life, I dedicate my time to helping other cloud consultants scale quickly with less effort to enjoy life. Detecting an accent, I'm an Aussie working globally from Melbourne, Australia. I interview successful cloud consultants sharing their scaling stories to give you inspiration and practical tips. I have dedicated experts for cloud consultants on the show to save you time and money by working with the right people. If you want to scale quickly with less effort to enjoy life, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to the Cloud Consultant Solo Show, episode number 464. If you're struggling to grow your business and you can't see a way out, then this is for you. Today's topic is Cloud Consultant's Business Growth Hack, which seems to be too good to be true. If it's your first time, welcome. I share my learnings from scaling and selling a cloud consulting business and mentoring hundreds of like-minded cloud consultants. The show is typically about 10 minutes, which we'll hit today. Check out past shows. Just search the Cloud Consultants Show and check out the interview shows as well. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. If you're a regular, thanks for your support. Always love hearing from you, knowing that you listen to the show at paul@paulhigginsmentoring.com. The email is in the show notes, and let me know if you've got a topic you'd love me to cover. And before I start, I'd like to talk to you about the world's only revenue-focused community for cloud consultants. It's peers collaborating to help each other to run a business better. Less technical, more business. And you can go to cloudconsultantscollective.com to join for free today. So if you're a regular, you'll know that I love my golf. It's the one sport I can cover up as my meds that I take for my transplant don't go well with the sun. And if you've ever been to Australia, you know that our UV here is very harsh because sadly we're close to the hole in the ozone layer. I'm also a left-hander, which is about 5% of golfers, something I inherited from both my mum and dad, who are both left-handed golfers. You know the drill. You always use the clubs that your parents have. Anyway, I was hitting the ball left to right, which was a draw. So if you're a non-golfer, apologise, but just think of, you're meant to be hitting straight, and I wasn't. The simplest way to put it. And a kind person at the driving range where I spent a lot of time trying to fix this came up to me and said, do you know that your feet are poorly aligned? Right? And I was blaming my swing. I was trying everything new. I was doing the usual, watch too much YouTube, TikTok, but I was blaming myself for a poor swing, getting really angry and frustrated. And within that 1 minute, just by simply putting my feet back in a straight line, I was hitting the ball perfectly. Right? Or, well, as good as I can hit it. And it was that simple. It was literally 1 minute of feedback. So it was the right advice at the right time. And running your business can be like this, right? And you probably know you can't see the label from the jar. It's a great saying, and I think it's so true. You try so many different tactics. You know that there's so many out there at the moment. You're always getting bombarded by you should try this, you should try that. And you try them all and just nothing seems to be right. And also the obvious answer isn't obvious to you, right? But it's right under your nose in most cases. And if you know who gets in the way of growth the most in your business, you know who it is? It's you, right? We are the people, because other people on the platform are doing really, really well. And you think, why are they doing well and I'm not doing well? It's a bit like my golf. And then I realize it's actually me. It's me, right? And you believe that working harder will get you the work, right? If I just work hard, I'm going to work my way out of this. I know that, something will come along and I'll try it and it'll work, right? And also you get too busy. Like how often has someone asked or suggested something to you and said, hey, I can give you some help. And you're like, I'll get to that. I'll just get too busy. I'll just get my operations set up. I'll just get my team set up and then I'll come and get help from you. The best time to plant an orange tree, as a Chinese proverb, was 20 years ago. The next best time is today, right? And without the person standing behind me and seeing my feet were misaligned, I would have probably continued down the path of trying all these different fixes, and I would have got myself into more trouble than I really needed to, right? Anyway, before I go into some examples of what is this single growth hack, which I think you've got a sense for what it might be, I want to ask you, are you a cloud consultant struggling to scale your business? Are you tired of feeling like you're stuck in a rut and not sure how to take your business to the next level? Then you won't want to miss our free scaling blueprint for cloud consultants. So I've interviewed hundreds of cloud consultants who successfully navigated the challenge of growing a consulting business, a cloud consulting business that is, and I've put all of this into an ebook that give you practical tips for building a strong sales engine, scaling your team, and achieving sustainable growth. Plus, I am sharing my insights and experience from scaling and selling my own business. Don't miss this opportunity to take your business to the next level. Receive a free ebook on scaling your cloud consulting business. Just go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/blueprint. And that is part of the growth hack, but it's not the best, right? The best growth hack is to actually get someone to help you, right? And what I want to do is show you some examples, 2 examples of some people that I've helped recently, and then show you how you can get that help, and also show you where you can find out some more examples. So I've changed the names, but the facts are the same, right? I just don't want to mention their exact names. Anyway, but Chris was very hard on himself because he wasn't achieving his monthly revenue. He had promised himself, but more importantly, he promised his partner when he left corporate, right? And he was getting incredibly frustrated. And I said, look, fill out the diagnostic that I have for my mentoring clients that I get them to fill out based on all my experience, and let's spend an hour together and let's see if I can help. What have you got to lose, right? It's an hour. The feed analogy, it was like 5 minutes just to completely change my game. So 3 things were obvious to me, but at the time they weren't obvious to him. One is that he was clearly working with the wrong clients. Second, his hourly rate was well below industry, right? And he sort of doubted himself, like you may do the same. I know I did. You always think that, I can't afford to be at that rate. But once he changed the rate, he realized that, he was well under the industry. And also he was working for hours and not retainers. Now, there's always risk with retainers if the scope creep happens. But in this occasion, he didn't have any recurring revenue, which made it difficult because then he seemed desperate to get more clients, and then those clients could smell that, right? So that's Chris. And the great thing is that he's now increased his prices by 30%, and he and his partner are happy. So the next one is John, and he was achieving his monthly revenue targets, but it wasn't consistent, right? He's about 7 out of the 12 months of the year. And when we looked at his revenue and his profit and loss, you could see it. And the other thing is when he was on for those 7 months, he was working about 70 hours, and other times he didn't have enough work on. So it was just, it was a roller coaster. So I did the same diagnostic with the same hour, but this time there was different outcomes. First is we really tighten up his ideal client and vertical. I think that's so critical, and it certainly was for John. The second is we actually gave him a LinkedIn playbook on how to do outbound because he wasn't doing any form of outreach or any form of sales or marketing to fill those other 5 months. And the other thing is we gave him a sales admin person because he said, look, I'm too busy doing delivery. And we said, well, get this sales admin person in to act as your behalf on LinkedIn, which is working exceptionally well. And if you want to see some more examples like Chris and John, who's not their true names, but you'll see on the website some names and some case studies at paulhigginsmentoring.com/scale. So the growth hack is to get out of your own way, right? Because like I said, other partners that are doing really well. And the benefit of me is I get to speak to all these partners across different platforms, right? So I'm seeing what best practice is, and then I can quickly help you realize what you're doing well, which you double down on, and the things that you aren't, to focus on those. And, just get someone to come and look at your business. Now, I sold my business, and that was a great success for me. And I also had a life-changing transplant 4 years ago. So I really want to give back. So I do complimentary sessions, right? So if you want to have a complimentary session, just go to talkpaul.com. If not, go and speak to someone else. It might be a peer or whatever, but please get out of your own way and get some help. So 2 key actions from today. One is get out of your own way, and the other is to get some help. And as I said, if you want some help from me, complimentary, talkpaul.com. The link will be in the show notes. Please follow me on LinkedIn to get content specifically for cloud consultants. If you know someone who is struggling to get that growth and they know, or they're in their own way, please share this with them. They'll think you're a rock star. If you're a cloud consultant, please join our free community at cloudconsultantscollective.com, and please take action to grow with less effort and more reward.
Learning is just one piece of the puzzle. It is now time for action. Head to today's show page at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast. Get the links and put it into action. Head to your favorite podcast platform, subscribe, rate, and review the show. Suggest topics for me to cover at paul@paulhigginsmentoring.com. And don't wait one more minute to gain access to content, especially for you, a cloud consultant, at paulhigginsmentoring.com/newsletter. This could be the difference between wasting time figuring it out yourself or scaling quickly with less effort to enjoy life.